Imagine a world where humanity has been pushed to the edge. Cities are falling, streets turn into battlefields, and the only sound that echoes is the wailing of the undead. Zombies, creatures that have forever transformed horror cinema. But not all zombies are the same. Sometimes they move slowly, like ghosts from your worst nightmares. Other times they run with a force and agility that cannot be stopped. So, which ones are more terrifying? Today, we'll delve into the differences between slow and fast zombies. We'll explore their origins, what defines them, and the emotions they evoke in viewers. Why are slow zombies a symbol of the looming end, while fast zombies embody chaos and pure adrenaline? In this episode, we'll not only compare both types of zombies, but also uncover what works better in horror, what strikes a deeper chord with our emotions, and which zombies truly reign as the king of terror. Are you ready to face them? If so, join me on a journey into the world of the undead. The history of zombies in pop culture begins in 1968. That's when George A. Romero created a film that redefined horror, Night of the Living Dead. Interestingly, the film didn't call its creatures zombies. They were simply ghouls. Yet, Romero's vision of the undead became the foundation for the entire genre. Slow, mindless, and hungry for human flesh, Romero's zombies represented more than just monsters. They served as a social commentary. In Dawn of the Dead, 1978, Romero used a shopping mall as the setting. But it wasn't just about trapping the characters in one place. In this film, zombies symbolized rampant consumerism and societal mindlessness. Every step of the undead was a reminder that in their world, just like in ours, a thoughtless crowd holds power. In the 80s and 90s, zombies became more diverse. Films like Return of the Living Dead introduced humor and creative approaches to zombie mythology. This is where we saw zombies that could talk. Remember the iconic brains. Zombies became not only symbols of fear, but also of entertainment. In the early 2000s, a true revolution took place. Danny Boyle's film 28 Days Later introduced a world where zombies were no longer slow. His infected were beings driven by pure rage. Interestingly, Boyle used the rage virus, which didn't resurrect the dead, but turned the living into killing machines. This was a response to the growing fascination with viruses and pandemics at the time. Did you know that during the filming of 28 Days Later, the streets of London were closed for just a few minutes to capture the empty city scenes? The effect of a deserted metropolis was so realistic that viewers began wondering if such a scenario could actually happen. Soon after, Zack Snyder's 2004 remake of Dawn of the Dead proved that fast zombies could be just as terrifying in classic siege scenarios. Their speed not only added realism, but also left the characters with less and less time to react. In the following years, zombies evolved into a massive threat. In World War Z, we witnessed fast zombies creating literal avalanches of the undead, even climbing over one another. This film demonstrated that zombies could be not only terrifying, but also awe-inspiring in their sheer scale. Did you know that in the Jerusalem siege scene in World War Z, over 850 extras were filmed on set, with the rest of the zombies added digitally? The result was so spectacular that these scenes became some of the most memorable in zombie movie history. Meanwhile, Train to Busan brought zombies to Asia, offering a fresh take on the genre. Trapping the characters in a train and adding an emotional layer made the film a global phenomenon. The characters weren't just fighting to survive, they were fighting for their families and humanity itself. Zombies have evolved over the decades, from the slow, menacing corpses of the 1960s, through the comedic and creative interpretations of the 1980s, to the fast, dynamic monsters of our time. Each era has added something new to their legacy, and today's films and series prove that zombies still have plenty to offer. But what really works better? Slow or fast? That's the question we'll try to answer in the next part of this video. Fast zombies revolutionized the horror genre with their relentless aggression and unpredictable nature, keeping audiences glued to the edge of their seats. They leave no time for careful planning or strategy. It's survival by pure instinct. But where did these terrifying creatures originate, and why do they captivate our imagination? The introduction of fast zombies in 28 Days Later, directed by Danny Boyle, marked a significant shift in the genre. Unlike traditional undead, these infected weren't reanimated corpses but humans overtaken by the rage virus. Their animalistic attacks and uncontrollable fury set a new tone for horror, transforming every scene into a desperate fight for survival. Fun fact: to heighten the chaotic energy of the infected in 28 Days Later, Danny Boyle blurred their movements, creating an unnerving blend of human and animal behavior. Zack Snyder's 2004 remake of Dawn of the Dead amplified this energy, presenting zombies as swift and brutal predators. Snyder believed that while slow zombies embodied creeping dread, fast zombies delivered pure, unfiltered terror, unpredictable and impossible to outrun. In films like Train to Busan, the dynamic becomes even more intense. Trapped in confined spaces with limited options, characters must make split-second decisions, adding a relentless pressure that keeps audiences breathless. Fun fact: actors in Train to Busan trained extensively to perfect their movements, drawing inspiration from wild predators to deliver realistic and terrifying performances. In World War Z, the depiction of fast zombies as a collective force, swarming like a tsunami, takes fear to a new level. This representation of zombies as an unstoppable, instinct-driven mass added a sense of realism to their threat. Fun fact: the iconic pyramid of zombies climbing over one another in World War Z was inspired by ants building bridges, illustrating the terrifying adaptability of these creatures. Fast zombies have not only redefined horror narratives, but also tapped into primal fears hardwired into our psyche. As film critic James Berardinelli observed, fast zombies mirror the chaotic and unpredictable threats of the modern world, reflecting our collective anxieties in an era defined by speed and immediacy. These creatures embody chaos, relentless, uncontrollable, and utterly terrifying. But their faster counterparts are not the only force to be reckoned with. In the next section, we'll explore how slow zombies, despite their lack of speed, can still instill fear that lingers long after the screen fades to black. Slow zombies are the cornerstone of classic horror. They don't run or attack in a frenzy, but their slowness is key to understanding their terrifying nature. Slow zombies don't rely on sudden shock. They embody a creeping dread, like an inevitable fate from which there's no escape. Slow zombies terrify on a completely different level than their fast counterparts. Their horror stems from their relentlessness and symbolism. They represent death, slow but inevitable. You can fight, run, but sooner or later they'll catch up to you. Their sheer numbers, tirelessness, and the fact that they never stop make them profoundly frightening. In The Walking Dead, zombies serve as part of the backdrop, but their slowness allows the creators to focus on psychological tension. It's not the zombies themselves that are terrifying, but the situations they force the characters into. The fight for survival becomes more of a struggle with one's own humanity. Romero wanted their slowness to convey not only physical decay, but also a lack of purpose and emotion. Slow zombies create psychological tension. In films like Day of the Dead, the characters often find themselves in situations where the zombies aren't an immediate threat, but their presence forces the group to make difficult decisions. Internal conflicts within the group become just as dangerous as the zombies themselves. Fun fact: Stephen King once said that slow zombies are like a nightmare you can't wake up from. You know they're coming, but you can't stop them, and that sense of helplessness is crucial in building horror. While fast zombies provoke an immediate fear response, slow zombies work on a more subconscious level. It's a horror that unfolds over time, filling the viewer with a sense of inevitability. After all, even if you're faster, you'll eventually tire. And them? Never. Slow zombies are the essence of classic horror. They engage the imagination, forcing us to confront our own fears and weaknesses. Their power lies in their numbers, atmosphere, and the sense of inevitability. But in a world driven by action, do slow zombies still hold their impact? In the next section, we'll compare them to fast zombies to find the answer to this question. Fast or slow zombies? Both types have their supporters and critics. Each evokes different emotions and influences the structure of a story in unique ways. Let's take a closer look at their strengths, weaknesses, and the emotions they stir in viewers. Fast zombies are the perfect tool for directors who want to craft films full of action and intensity. The narrative pace is dynamic, making viewers feel as if they're part of the race for survival. Every moment is packed with tension, and the action unfolds at lightning speed. Conversely, slow zombies work like a ticking clock in the background. The narrative in films featuring them is slower, more thoughtful, and psychological. It's not about running from monsters, but facing time, a sense of entrapment, and the inevitability of fate. Movies like Dawn of the Dead show that slow zombies are ideal for building atmosphere and suspense. Fast zombies tap into our primal fear instinct. They present a threat that demands an immediate reaction. There's no time for analysis. You either run or die. Their brutality and speed make every viewer feel a surge of adrenaline, as if they were being chased themselves. Slow zombies, while seemingly less threatening, are more biologically realistic. If a body is dead and its muscles are decaying, it's hard to imagine it being capable of running. This makes slow zombies feel more believable. On the other hand, fast zombies better reflect the dynamics of modern threats. In a world where viruses or conflicts can escalate in the blink of an eye, fast zombies are more fitting for our times. After all, isn't the fear of something sudden and unexpected one of our greatest anxieties? Ultimately, the choice between fast and slow zombies depends on what you value in horror. Do you prefer instant shock and adrenaline, or the slow buildup of tension and a psychological challenge? Each version of zombies has its place in horror cinema, and both remain equally terrifying, though in different ways.